a log of the things that all of the things that I just thought about. Hi girls, come on. Oh, hi. First I'm gonna breathe and hydrate, so if you would like to join me. While I recollect. Anyway. Horses and donkeys, if you heard that. Over there. Got a little miniature pony in the field that I couldn't get in the shot. The sound is my friend Rocky hears tail wagging against the door on this porch. But I'd like to take a moment to speak for the trees, if you'll indulge me in that. For quite a short beat to you, longer to them. And the clarity with which I just was able to barefoot walking in around the trees here. The clearest, crispest it's ever been. Thank you, gratitude trees, for the clarity of the message, which I now have to, it was so quick in the moment, but now I have to think about it to recall. Well, I'm not in the present. If I had had a recording device nearby, I would have recorded it, but then it wouldn't have been the same time, so, of course. Until I get quicker. Hey, chickens. But I digress. Because it was on the theme of acceptance. This struggle with just being present in the here and the now. Takes breath. Takes a pause to be able to hear the message that you've now reached out to say in these ways. That as you are present of us, we are present of you. Having personally had more experiences with being aware of bugs and them being just as aware back at me. Noticing only today how instead of smashing a fly away, I feel but don't fear and then don't react. Reflect fear outwards and squish that bug, but now it's such a small moment of awareness, allowing, and just giving a helping hand. But we digress again. Take another breath and drink of water. Oh, what were they talking about? It was the maple tree right over there. Their leaves are falling early. I don't know if you've noticed, but beautiful, of course, these maple tree leaves. Bright crimson red and circles of yellow. But I digress for a third time. about acceptance. And then there was the pear tree, whose pears are so heavy that they dangle over on one limb now, where it was straight up before. And I went to its base and saw something glinting at the base, and it was plastic, so I pulled it out, but an ant colony had built a home right upon it and had lived quite happily. Well, the pear tree was quick to speak up to me and say, oh, so then I had to relocate all the little ants that were on it and just waited patiently for a while, but then picked up and one by one set them on a leaf or the bark or upon their way to live another day. Like you or I. The pear tree said, well, I would have, because then the last little guy was like he looked like a little youngster. I placed him on a pear I had just found and taken one bite out of, and put it back where his home was, like I brought home a feast. Pear tree said, I would have much rather had the litter. And for someone like me, that's hard to accept, but the maple tree had helped me with acceptance. Accepting the fact. I think that's what you said. Accepting the fact that as you acknowledge us, we acknowledge you. So when you're admiring that tree, and you're really taking in its leaves and its colors and its expressions and its litter and its beauty, that they are also taking in all of those things of you, your texture, especially the more that you can take some breaths and slow down like I've been working on, All this breathing has just helped me get more in tune with the bugs and the trees and the chickens. Like even letting all these chickens into these yards with this dog, She just wanted eye contact. Little Margaret there. She's usually in the lead of the pack, but she was behind because the Chihuahua can get a little excited at first until everybody's settled in to the yard where the dogs keep the chickens safe. Since I don't have a rooster, since I can't stand the crowing. The bugs message was similar to messages I've been hearing from other people who have been able to telepathically or whatever, intuitively, instinctually understand, feel, know, and be able to now express what we're understanding from chickens and wolves and beetles and bugs and climate and fire and earth and the moon, but the trees more than anything else. The trees have been talking to me since I've been in West Virginia. I can remember the early days, although not quite the year or hour. Birds. But I digress, I think, for 4 times. Acceptance. That is, we acknowledge them, they acknowledge us. But also that death and life is not really how we understand it. And so that's cool. It was this little bug, the dining hall of the Folklife Center, and he was just a little guy, but he was sparkling in the light, and said to me, we take this life and death, or at least I do, so seriously, existence and all of it, and if we really understood, we wouldn't woe it, we wouldn't have a lot of the, hold-ups that we do about this whole experience, why we're here and what we're doing, I've been torn apart in my, astrally, unmedicatedly, in my regular experience. Granted, it was a 4-hour meditation, and this lady was dressed as a crow, but, other than that, torn apart, the skin and the muscle and the bone, and it was a bright beacon pulsating blue light. It's just remember, this is more to who you are, and this outlives this experience. And that you decided to come here. And the trees, the maple said to me today, we did too. We're all here together at this time to do this. Let us do it with you. But we gotta get to this point. So acceptance is what I was working on, and I think I found that today when they just point blank said, accept that that we are here and we're seeing you too. You can't see our faces, but that doesn't mean. So I just thought in this time where people are talking about how we understand that trees are connecting, through the roots with the mushrooms, and it's a big underground, wood wide web, they call it. I've eaten mushrooms too. We just cooked up some puffballs the other day, and chicken of the woods. Oh my gosh, what a magical feast that I've been enjoying recently. So I guess I'm a part of that network too. I'm not saying go out and eat mushrooms, that's not for you, but hey, I used to hate the taste of them, even when I was vegetarian. All they give you is portobello burgers, and I don't like portobello burgers. I didn't know any other mushrooms at the time, but anyway. I digress for the 5th time. And the last. Oh, it hasn't even been that long. Well, I could go on. So I guess if you're partying with me here, I have other videos on YouTube. Check out. I guess if you're partying with me here, you wouldn't watch them. Otherwise, you can keep watching. I'm going to take another breath. Chickens have moved out of frame. I was hoping to get the other dog. Hasn't even. Oh, I guess he's inside. Well, Rocky, you're a nice co-host here. Just percussion. Moral support. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Oh, here's the Chihuahua. I spoke about him and he showed up. Hold on, there's a cool flower. Butters and Rocky, the co-stars. This is all right, calm down. Okay. Come here. Thanks. This is an Indian pipe. Translucent, it'll turn black soon, as it's started to already, but I've only seen it once before. Hello. They're called something else. I can't remember. Ghost something? Maybe you know. Comment below. Ooh. Anyway. Just put that right there for now. Okay. Can we calm down? Don't chase the chickens, okay? Alright. Thanks. Good boy. Yeah. Uh-huh. Just running laps. So, where was I? Oh, so the little bug. He was at one point he was pay attention to me. He spoke up. Because, I was in and out of it. Still, because I think in the past I've dealt with doubt. And I'm learning now, and it's been instructed to me as well, in these ways to anytime a moment of doubt in any of these capacities comes up, just stop in that moment and be aware, and then move through to, sorry, the dog is being, move through to trust instead. Always come back to trust and just replace it in that moment. Because that's I've been told before, that's a bad word, that D word, So in my waveringness in with that has been the waveriness of my communication levels with these, which is I guess where I graduated into acceptance today, at least to a new understanding of it. I'm very grateful for that. So the little bug is so glittery and so beautiful on this cork board. I was making kindness cards for my Camp Constance, and it was so sweet in this little light, because the whole dining hall had been closed down while I was in the bathroom having a stern talk with myself in the mirror. A loving, self, told it to me how it was. Reflections I've been receiving and being able to process those. So, I digress, I guess, for a 6th time, since you've stuck around to get 6. 3 and 3, hooray! 2 and 3, fantastic. 11:11s have been coming up for me recently, but then now I get on 11:10, and then I'll just wait. Fill up the whole minute with a good long wish, because belief, brings us there. I believe at least. So for me, the more I believe in these things, the more synchronistic and things line up and beauty I get to see about the collectively, but accepting, because even there was where I one time had, it was like, just sit down, and like, that was the first time that I came to acceptance, like, accept things just the way that they are, and like myself too. But then also it was because like it was bothering me, all these dogs barking at everything. I thought they were barking at me, and then like another dog walked by with it on a leash, and I'm like, some of those dogs aren't even barking at you. But conversely, when I can on the other side of that, I guess instead of fear, love, and self-belief, instead acceptance, being, I guess, the removal of doubt, truth, or but anyway, the dogs do bark when I tap into the joyous easygoings of this process of acceptance. Digress for the 7th time, 3 and 4. The bug at one point had to just grab me and say, because I get whisked away in these ways, say, like, pay attention to me. Like, I came all this way, and I'm here, and I'm talking to you. Can you please? You don't even know who I am. Almost like this very powerful, booming, like, authority of, like, not authority, but just clarity to say, excuse me, boundaries. I've come here to tell you the least you could do is, you got the awareness, the least you could do is accept that this is a real experience all the way now. And accept that I'm here to tell you this. And that, so, how he knows, or if it's just like a, collaboration of my mind with my experience, creating my reality to like, communicate with, whatever in the higher and myself in these ways. But who's to say, like, why? Or I should say how, but the what of it is, like, death is not what we think it is. And if we understood it, it would not be so sad. And I think, like, shortly after then, like, a flaw in that, because the little light in the darkened hallway, at the kindness board, making all these cards, talking to this one bud. Oh, beautiful guy he was. Gratitude to his little soul, wherever he is now. A gnat flew right down my throat, like, all the way down, and it was like, acceptance, like, don't mourn that guy, like, this is all. And I've seen similar posts about, like, a lady said about a wolf telepathy of, like, even in that case, like, let us die. I don't know, is that what the trees are saying too? Ugh, you got me, Butters. But acceptance of at least my experience. Okay, sir, thanks. It's a little fresh. Come down here. Okay. So that's what I have to say on acceptance today. I've also been getting the message of patience for myself and others. I don't think you should eat that. I don't really know. I should do more research. All right. Acceptance. Acceptance. I guess that's it. Goodbye.